All right, so let's see if we can make a little quick video about SHTF and sighting options. So right off the bat, we have to consider um, what are we talking about when we're talking about SHTF, and what I'm really talking about right now is either quick, small personal disasters, such as home defense, such as pest control, or larger, if you feel you need a firearm for a larger natural disaster, or you have need a firearm for certain types of people disasters. And so at that point, you're talking about something that can come up, surprise you, and then you have to deal with it afterwards, and you feel you need a firearm to assist with the situation. Great. So then we start to look at what do you need for a sight for that type of a situation. And this is sharing my own personal experience within in those situations. And so what I have found is I want a high level of durability, reliability, and really I want those at a certain price point. Now, something to consider when you're looking at choosing a firearm for SHTF. Bear Independent made a recent video talking about his experience, Grindstone Ministries experience in North Carolina dealing with Hurricane Helene. And he made the point that there was a number of people there helping out, and a huge number of them were armed, and none of them had to discharge a firearm. And that's pretty cool. So that is at least a context point, something to consider when really thinking about if I think I need a firearm, I think I need it for SHTF. What kind, do I need to be spending $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 on my firearm that I'm going to have for a crazy scenario in a rainy day? And I think that the vast majority of users who buy a firearm for that type of situation, they don't need that expensive a tool. Now, if you have that already, great. If you already spent that or you feel that that is necessary because of whatever situation you're in, absolutely. I'm not here to argue that. I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong. I'm here to lay out some of what I think. Now, from there, um, when I've had to deal with surprises and problems, and I've had to pull out optics, I've had a lot of problems with fog. I've had a lot of problems with dust, unless you leave scope caps on your optics. And even then, still had a lot of problems with fog and with rain and with snow, making my optics unusable or reducing their usability. That's not a problem that I have with iron sights. I've had a number of situations where I have broken optics. And if you want me to be honest, I've had a number of situations where I've broken iron sights as well. So it's not accurate to say that iron sights are so durable that they're never going to be broken. They're always going to be there for you. But for the price point, iron sights are far more robust. And within that, if you do break iron sights, my experience so far, all the iron sights that I've busted, I've always been able to get them up and running again and functional again with a file and sometimes a screwdriver and sometimes some paint. When I've busted optics, I've never been able to get them up and running again. That's not totally true. So where I have had a mount problem, I've been able to get the optic up and running again by changing the mount. But if you are in some sort of natural disaster, Amazon and UPS may not be available for you to be able to go and buy a new mount. And so something that you can fix with tools on hands, I think is incredibly important. So the iron sights I found are very fast, very usable. and they have very durable, especially when you're talking about optics that, or excuse me, sighting systems that are less than $500. I've found that the iron sights stand up and hold up very well. When you start to talk about some of those higher priced optics, you find that some of them do, in fact, stand up to the same levels of abuse that iron sights do. So, this particular um, iron sighting setup, this is a Midwest Industries rear sight. The front sight came on the rifle. It has a $100 Reprolite tritium front sight. And so that total sighting system cost $100. And that then allows me to take the money I've saved, the money I'm not spending on other sights, or on a different sighting system, on a more robust sighting system, and spend it instead on ammo or magazines. Or tracking back to Hurricane Helene, most people will get more mileage out of, spending money on water, spending money on food, spending money on a good chainsaw or on hand tools, shovels, pickaxes, things like that. So consider carefully what your preparedness budget is going towards, and if you're only all your money is going into your rifle, you do what you want, but I would question that. There are situations that you want to be focused on using an optic. And so some of those situations, an easy example where you really want to be focused on an optic and using an optic is if your eyes have problems, especially older eyes, but also some other eye problems, make optics a much better choice than an iron sights. And so you have to know yourself, learn yourself, and make the best choices for you. If you're in a desert environment, you're probably not going to have the same issues that I've had with moisture management. If you are in a military context and you are using your sights every single day, you're touching your rifle every single day. I actually do touch my rifles every day, but in a military context, you can afford a more frequent maintenance schedule for your sighting systems. And with those iron sights, you can afford to be more neglectful of your sighting system and still have it be usable and ready to go the moment you need to use your weapon to solve a problem. Other situations that you may choose optics are if you absolutely need to throw lead at a longer range. So this is a Burris optic. It is magnified, and it's there for me to sling lead out to 300 or 400 yards or farther if necessary. This is set up at 200, forget at 200 yards, and so 220 yards, 200 meters. And so that is, again, just a very simple grab and go, not a lot of thought, robust sighting system that allows me to get work done at reasonable ranges. And this has, of course, the iron sight setup and the red dot setup. The red dot is a SIG. This burst cost about $350 when it was still in production. The SIG costs about $200. And so far, they have not failed on me, but I'm just going to keep trucking and see what happens. But my experience so far and the experience I've seen from other people is that iron sights are much more durable, much more reliable for a fantastic price point. Once you start to get up beyond a certain price point, you do get the higher quality, higher durability, higher reliability, and then the other advantages that optics bring you. So if you have any thoughts, opinions, especially if your opinions run counter to mine, please share them below. You have a great day.